Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck. Oh, yo. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? It is Sunday, which entails for me is to be my Friday from work. But this is another HBCU Tonight powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like this stream. Make sure that you comment on it. Make sure that you share with your folks. And also, but the most important thing is make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You get everything that you need. HBCU Overdrive. Also, if you are on Twitter, because we do simulcast between Twitter and YouTube, if you're on Twitter, hit that follow button. And then come on to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. But other than that, see filing in right now. What's going on, Mr. Tasha? How you doing? Good evening. She said, good evening.
I'm getting
there. I'm getting there.
I'm getting there, sister.
I'm getting there. What's up, nephew Jay? Congratulations to Jay hitting 500,000 views on his channel. So shout out to my man. Shout out to my nephew. While we getting people filed in, come in to the church, try to get try to get in contact with Mr. Ford. Haven't heard from him yet, but I want to know what his opinion is about what we're going to talk about tonight. Other than that, I'm trying to get these this slide to kind of getting the slide together and done in a while. All right, so Tanzania about to lose at either baseball or softball. What's going on, man? Ooh, softball. Wow. But while we get this going on right here, let's take a small commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holliday with HBCU Overdrive. And I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
Right, man. All right, man. Look, we're gonna get into that in just a minute. While we get this going straight, get this packed down right here. Let's see. Earlier this weekend, Jackson State did take on Alabama on Friday, and also took on Belmont on Saturday in the elimination game. And in both games, we were unsuccessful, but that Belmont game could have went either way. Losing that game 2-1. This is, I think that would have been a I think that would have been a nice ring to it. It would have been a nice ring. It would have served some purpose that we got a victory over another Division I program in that manner. So let me go ahead and get some of this stuff right here. Let's see if I can find this dude right here. Almost. Let me get this right here. I should be done in just a second. Trying to get these, like I said, photos. All right. Trying to get these photos right here. But anyway, great season for softball. Great season for softball this year, winning the SWAC tournament. But being second place in the division I'm just gonna be honest with you. That is our rival right there. That is our rival, FAMU. When it comes down to it, you can't gloss over that. That is our rival. It is something that we can say we can hang our hat on. We can hang our hat on and enjoy the whole thing, the whole process, and we can only go up from there. So now baseball is going to be starting up, and if I'm not mistaken, the tournament starts this week on Wednesday. So, and on that note, let me go ahead and pull up the baseball standard before we get into before we get into our main topic. Jackson State finishes the regular season at 29-19 overall, 16-12 in conference. Bethune-Cookman wins the conference, wins the whole conference in baseball, 33-21 overall, 24-5 in conference, followed by FAMU at 30-23, 24-6 in conference. And FAMU is actually on an 11-game winning streak right now, heading into the tournament. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of parity going into this tournament this season. So let me go ahead and pull up the brackets. Trying to see, make sure this pulls up. All right, that didn't pull up correctly the way I wanted to be pull up, but anyway, brackets are set. Jackson State takes on Alabama State in the first round. Only seeing 8 this year. Eight teams this year. Alabama State is in the same bracket with Jackson State in Group A. In which you know what? I can pull it up from here. All right. I think I could pull it up from right here. Let me see. You know what? It's in my files. Is it in my files? I'll take that back. It's in my Google files. Well, maybe I can't find that one true. Anyway, that's what happens when you get off work and working overnight does something to you. So I have to excuse me. Y'all have to excuse me. But what's going on, Chuck? But yeah, man, look, we about to get into it. But first and foremost, man, before we get into this, I got some things to say. First and foremost, I want to give a congratulatory shout out to my niece. And this is niece number 4 for me. I got 5 of them. All right. This is niece number 4. This is Kristen. Kristen is a senior at South Oak Cliff High School here in Dallas. And she is set on graduating this year. In fact, in about a week or so, with honors and everything. But she made her decision yesterday, and she decided to put on that black and gold that head to North Louisiana, exit 81. Yes, this young lady right here is headed down to Grambling State University. And it is synonymous in my family. Okay, I'll just let you know that. All right, my oldest cousin went to Grambling. She was there for 2 years and then finished out the rest of her education at Paul Quinn College when they moved up to Dallas from Waco. Now, my cousin, my other cousin, younger cousin, went to Grambling also, and she is synonymous. She played in the band, but she made history though because she was the first female tuba player in the world fame. And of course, this young lady right here that's sitting next to me, Miss Destiny. She also went to Grambling.
And Jenny is my sorority sister.
And my cousin is her sorority sister. Ooh, it's 6 degrees of separation up in this thing. Yeah. 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 So she hopes I think her major, I don't know, I think her major is supposed to be going to be in sports medicine because she wants to continue being a athletic trainer. So you'll more than likely see her on the sidelines. Hopefully this fall for football. And yes, she is going to a HBCU. Her sister, my other niece, her big sister, can't be more proud of her. Now that is my niece. That is at the rival for them, Prairie View. Even though this one right here say she'll never step foot on that campus. I think I'll step foot on that campus because of the simple fact that hey, that campus is freaking great. It looks nice. It does. It do look nice though. You can't go wrong with how that campus look. But Uncle D, that's what she called me. or when she wants a uncle, she is going to be she is going to prosper, and we're gonna make sure that she is navigating the waters down there. Now figure out on her father's side that she got some people that's gonna watch out for her, and it ain't nothing but a high skip and a jump away for us. We don't mind getting the car. We don't mind right now renting the car to go down there and handle up.
Mhm.
That ain't nothing but a 3.5 hour drive. That ain't nothing but a 3.5 hour drive. And baby over here, she'll fly. She'll be driving. She gonna fly down the freeway.
Mhm.
Oh snap! Said father played trumpet at Grammy.
Yeah, I'm reading that. Okay.
But let me get somebody up here. But I want to go ahead and still congratulate my niece. Um, her name is Kristen, but in the family and all around the street, she is known as Mookie. So, baby, go be great. We gonna see you this fall. We're gonna see both of y'all, you and your sister, this fall. State Fair Classic is gonna be a fun time this year at State Fair Classic. So we're gonna have her big old umbrella and a fan with her. Say boots on the ground. And oh, it's gonna be a family affair. I don't know what my sister, I don't know what my little sister's gonna do because I don't know if she's gonna have a split shirt, but
I can make a one.
oh, she's gonna make one. But it's gonna be very interesting. And I know my mama. I know my mama. She don't care. She just go with somebody because the simple fact that her grandkids now are making the jump to HBCUs. Um, before we get into this, um, my other niece, this is my second niece, y'all, Trinity. I want to we send congratulatory messages to her because she became a mother for the first time. And now my older sister uh, is a grandmother. Now my mama is a great grandmother. Who would have thought? Now my black ass is a great uncle. I would not have thought about that. Yo, yo, oh my God. I'm a great uncle. Who would have thought about that? But my great niece was born on Monday at 10 o'clock at night. Her name is Demesia Irene Jackson. And we keep the Irene because that is synonymous in our family. That was the name of my grandmother. So she gave her the middle name of my grandmother, which would have been my niece's great grandmother. So we kind of keep that lineage on tap. But yeah, great times in my family. Great times in my family. Again, and also health as well. So make sure we take care of ourselves and everything. To live a long, prosperous life. And I'm just saying that because it was on me. But before we get into our main topic, the WNBA is back and in grand fashion. The goofball of ESPN, where he was with ESPN, but the goofball, who was also known as Robert Griffin III, pretty much is saying nonsensical things on Twitter, and he's getting flamed for it. Getting flamed for it, and it's well deserving. Well deserving. Well deserving of being flambéed. Well deserving of being flambéed. If a folk like RG3, to who me was a great talent on the football field, but has become I wouldn't even call it a polarizing figure in the media space, you are part of the problem. You are part of the people that will just say, "Fuck them people! Fuck them people!" Just had to put that out there. Just had to put that out there. So and yeah, he did spend the majority of his time injured in the NFL. And you see what happened. Now, if he didn't tear his knee up, oh my God, he would have been one of them ones. I'm just put it just like that. My Dallas Wings started the season off with a loss. Paige Beckers, aka Buckets, started the season off with 10 points for this season. It's one of those things. It's a learning curve, but also just got to deal with the team that you have right here. Knicks versus the Pacers. Knicks versus the Pacers is Knicks versus the Pacers. It's a good series coming up. It's pretty much it's probably gonna be pretty much what we saw back in the 90s without the hard fouls and the fighting. And Troy said Dixon 5. And okay, Thunder versus Wolves. Are we finally going to get it to where it's going to be a small market? It might be a small market championship, or are the Knicks, just like my man Troy said, Knicks in 5. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. I gotta check that out, bro. I gotta check that out. If you on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter. But before we get into our main topic discussion, let's go ahead and hit that good commercial break. Be back in just a minute.
It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout-outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket.
All right, we are back, and guess what? We're about to go ahead and get this thing rolling. So, I kind of pretty much labeled this the HBCU Trojan horse. And I figured people are going to ask, why did you make the title about a Trojan horse? Simple. And let's go. Get your notes out. Let's go talk about Greek mythology. Yeah, it's a weird horse, but that's the way, if you really think about it, that is the way that it was made, because the actual horse was made out of the ruins of a Trojan ship. So let me go ahead and get you this. This is in Greek mythology. The story of the Trojan horse is a classic example of deception and trickery. The Greeks, unable to breach the city walls of Troy, built the giant wooden horse as a gift. The Trojans, believing it was a peace offering, brought it into the city, and then hidden inside the horse were Greek soldiers who emerged at night to open the city gates, allowing the rest of the Greek army to storm the city. Now, if you want to talk about it in computing, which my man Troy is my man be coding his ass off over there. So the term Trojan horse can also be used metaphorically to describe any deceptive scheme or tactic that involves getting someone to willingly allow an enemy.
There will be lots of clouds and thunderstorms.
Or something harmful into a secure place. In business, it can refer to a seemingly favorable offer designed to trick customers into paying more than they expect.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, off. See, it's just going off and everything. I don't know what's wrong. What's wrong with her?
What's your attention?
So when you talk about it, we talk about it in the sense of what's going on, and I put it in the sense of what's going on with our institutions. And the reason why I say that is because majority of our institutions are in Republican-led states. The only ones that are not are, I think, North Carolina and Maryland. They are Democratic-led states. That's the reason why you don't really too much hear of, anything bad about what's going on with it. Or maybe it's just Maryland. I might be wrong about North Carolina. So this is all synonymous with us because it is happening everywhere. May not be in certain institutions, but in majority of our institutions, it's happening right now. And the biggest ones are at Jackson State, which we'll get into that, and at Florida A&M. With Jackson, with us at Jackson State, we do not have an independent board of trustees. Our selection goes towards the board from IHL. Now, in the case of FAMU does have they do have an independent board of trustees, but in order for them to go ahead and get their presidential nomination back, they had to send it to the state board of governors, who pretty much finalizes the deal. Let's just put it just like that. And so when I say about a Trojan horse, it's basically what I'm saying is that, in a sense, what happened at FAMU. The members of the board, and I'm not going to say all of them, but some of the majority of members of the board presented a candidate who, in the eyes of the others and alumni, faculty, and the community, that this person was not qualified to lead a university like this. And we all saw what happened on Friday. We all saw what happened on Friday. This person right here is Marva Johnson. Marva Johnson has been selected as Florida A&M University's 13th president following an 8-4 vote by the Board of Trustees. This is coming from the Tallahassee Democrat. Johnson's selection has sparked controversy due to her perceived right-wing political ties and lack of academic experience. The Board of Trustees also approved a salary range of $450,000 to $750,000 for the new president. Johnson's appointment is subject to confirmation by the Florida Board of Governors. And Troy, if you're still on here, man, I'm about to send you an invite so you can jump on, kind of talk about this. Sent the link in the chat. Here's the articles. Several months of vehement opposition and some powerful support at Florida A&M University have resulted in one of 4 presidential finalists being named FAMU's new Rattler-in-Chief, Marvin Johnson. FAMU's Board of Trustees met virtually and in person May 16th in the Grand Ballroom on campus, selecting Johnson to serve as the university's 13th president following an 8-4 vote. The meeting came just days after she visited the highest of 7 hills and stood in the firing line of concerned community members who strongly opposed her candidacy as the contentious presidential search neared its end. Florida A&M University has long stood as a beacon of excellence and empowerment, Johnson said in a statement released by the university hours after the vote. To be considered for the opportunity to lead this historic institution is the honor of a lifetime. I will approach this role with bold vision, focused on student success, innovation, and national prominence while building strong bridges with the FAMU community and honoring the legacy that makes this university so special. The conclusion was no surprise to come to some in the FAMU community, including board member Belvin Perry, who believed the fix was in for the woman who has been a close ally to Governors Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis. It is a foregone conclusion as to the result of this vote today, Perry said. That's the truth. Many view Johnson's ascension as the latest example of DeSantis reshaping the higher education landscape in his political mode, this time at the nation's #1 public HBCU. While Johnson currently serves as Group Vice President of the Internet and Cable TV company Charter Communications, aka Spectrum. She is now the second woman in university history to be named president of FAMU. The other is the university's 11th president, Elmira Mangum, who only served for 2 years, 2014 to 2016. The selection of Johnson to serve as FAMU's new leader comes after former president Larry Robinson stepped down last year in the aftermath of a major donation debacle, which led to interim President Timothy Beard stepping in to serve in the role since August for a 1-year term. What's going on, man?
Nothing much.
All right. So we all kind of seen what's going on. The fix was in. And Magna Martha. They could have gave a better picture of her right here. I told y'all her wig looked like it smelled like earring backs.
No, that's a good picture for her. That's a good picture for her. You know, when you have a villain, you give them a villain picture.
And man, they could have did better with the backdrop too. Come on now. The candidates were chosen that were pretty much left behind. You had the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Rondell Allen, UCF Senior Vice President for Administration and Finance, Gerald Hector, and FAMU's Executive VP and Chief Operating Officer, Donald Palm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I said Palm would have been the best fit because why he's a FAMU alum, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
I believe I don't know if he's a FAMU alum. I believe he's an HBCU alum.
Right.
So the thing about it is, right? Hector made everybody feel good, but he didn't have the advanced degree. If he would have had the advanced degree, it would have been a bigger uproar than it is now, and it's a big uproar. but he didn't have the advanced degree. So everybody kind of assumed that it would be Palm that would end up getting the position.
Right.
Because this lady has no higher ed experience at all.
Right.
And then a lot of people are focusing on the salary. Remember, every person that has been nominated by a Republican-led board of trustees, all of their salaries have eclipsed $700,000. Because the thing that it happened to FIU first. Like, we forget that it happened to FIU first, but it wasn't as big of a deal because it's FIU.
Right.
It became a big deal when New College of Sarasota president was making $250,000. They remove her, install a puppet, give him, I think his salary was $900,000 plus like $5,000 a month for like car stipend. It was ridiculous. And then his retirement package is something crazy too. Like, it's like well over $700,000. It's crazy. Every one of these people, if you notice the trend, they're donors, they're backers of Ron DeSantis. And this is his way of making sure they're told thank you. Now, what I don't understand, and I'm gonna be transparent, because when we had Devron on the show, until the week before, I was unaware that he had graduated from FAMU's law school. Devron, for my entire life, I've always known as a boot skin. Since we left high school, that's where he went.
He went to Florida. For those who don't know, when Troy said the boot skins, that is University of Florida. I don't like them either. I can give two shits about them.
So I understood the salary, and I knew why they removed the chairman from the negotiations, because that salary was already determined. This outcome was determined before it ever got to a vote. This outcome was determined in interviews.
So if you see this picture right here, this is some of the members of the board. The lady in the orange is Miss Kristen Harper. She is the board chairwoman. This picture was taken when Dr. Beard was installed as the interim president, following what happened with Dr. Larry Robinson. Now, this is the reason why, to me, the Trojan horse has came to FAMU. It's because Dr. Robinson and other members at the school, at the university, dropped the ball when Jeremy came in and posed as a billionaire.
By the way, he's not faced any charges at all.
Now, when you look at that, when Dr. Robinson made the notion, don't fuck this up, in which he said that he vetted this dude for 8 months, that some of the folks vetted this guy for 8 months, and then it turns out that he had no money like that. The fix was in. When you sign NDAs, to me, when you sign NDAs, I don't care what you say. The fix is in. It is in, and it is in to ruin the reputation of your university, your institution. If you look closely, Kristen Harper, who is a FAMU alum, she is the board chairwoman. She basically voted for Dr. Palm. Belvin Perry, who is right next to her on the right, the short guy. Now, here's an interesting thing about Belvin Perry. Belvin Perry held dual role on the board of trustees for FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. He left Bethune-Cookman.
No, he's still on the board.
He's still on the board.
He's just not president.
He's just not president. Okay, so he's still on the board. He just don't have a lot of say as far as when it comes to the board of Bethune. But he is more powerful with his voice for Florida A&M. He voted for Dr. Palm. He knew that the fix. He knew that fix was in. Once that woman was brought in, and we'll get to the person who we feel like orchestrated this whole thing. Once that person was brought in, in fact, she was brought in the same week as the vote. As the vote went. Am I correct, Troy?
She was brought in when they had settled in on finalists.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to say St. Pete, that other side of St. Pete decided that no, we needed another candidate and shoehorn that lady in, Devron Gibbons.
This is Devron Gibbons right here. And Troy can tell you all about Mr. Gibbons.
So we grew up in South St. Pete together. And for those that whenever I have a question, I text him. I have no qualms about texting him. We don't agree on everything, and we probably don't, and I will still text him. But I ain't gonna lie, I feel some type of way. I'm trying not to be in my feelings. I'm trying to be a professional media personality, but you got to feel some type of way when we watched him bloviate about a NAIA coach.
Oh yeah,
go to FAMU, right?
Mm-hmm.
We watched him do that. I understood where he was coming from. I just didn't necessarily agree with how he did it. Now, he came on the podcast and he said it's because we didn't trust the AD. I understood that too. That is in the best interest. In his mind, he's doing what's in the best interest of the institution.
Mm-hmm.
You was there when Devron was on the show. Devron is very detailed oriented.
I asked questions too about it. Yeah, he's very detailed. He might be meticulous, but he came about being very, very detailed, laid out, and everything. So it's not like he didn't come into that interview unprepared. He was prepared for everything that we asked him. Even to the point where I even asked him, like, look, you giving this man 2 years. You gave him a 1 year. Let's try and let me see what we can do. Let's see what you can do type of contract. Then you find out that he was damn good, and you turn around and say, okay, let's give you a 2 year contract. But let's be real. Let's be real. You turn around. And you gave, don't get me wrong, he was a damn good quarterback. I mean, he was a serviceable point guard, backup point guard. Charlie Ward, you gave him a 5-year deal, close to $1 million, and say, go bring us a SWAC championship. In my opinion, like I said,
so
I knew Craig wasn't gonna sign that contract. He didn't sign that. He didn't sign it.
I had a feeling he wasn't gonna sign it either, and we kept hearing stuff through the grapevine. But the Charlie Ward thing, it was even if Curry had won the SWAC, Charlie Ward is too big of a name for every. I'm trying to say this without being. There's no way to get around it. Charlie Ward, his connection to FAMU, because his daddy played at FAMU, his mama is FAMU. Charlie Ward's connection to FAMU, his connection to Florida State, his connection to that state house, because a lot of people in that state house still love Charlie Ward. If rumors would have circulated that Charlie Ward was interested in Florida A&M, it wouldn't have mattered if we gave Curry a 5-year contract. They would have made that move.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm understanding, yes, Brandy, yes, FAMU alums, most of the alums on the board voted for the lady to come in. This man right here that's pictured, he's an alum of the law school for Florida A&M, but he went to the University of Florida. This man right here is one of the reasons why you had such a big deal with the donation scandal. You had such a big deal with the hiring of the head football coach. You had such a big deal with the hiring of the basketball coach. So his his connection, just put it just like that, his connection, he has, for him not, and then for him not to be even a board chairperson, he has too much power on the board of trustees. It really
So let's we got to understand how we got here, right? We got here because Lawton Childs died in the office when I was in undergrad. When Lawton Childs died in office, the lieutenant governor took over, and he was the most uncharismatic person on the face of this earth. So, of course, he was going to lose to Jeb Bush. I remember when Jeb Bush ran to FAMU and told that lie about all the stuff he was going to do for FAMU. Then Jeb Bush gets elected. And I can't think of the dude name from California, but it was a light-skinned dude from California that was railing against anything that had to do with affirmative action. They put his light-skinned face up to be the poster child of why to get rid of affirmative action. So we used to have a board of regents, and the institutions had control over what happened to their institutions. That went away after Jeb Bush got in office.
So basically, he brought up the state board of governors.
That's the state board of governors, the board, and then the board of trustees. Remember, at my institution, it was the board of trustees that got rid of Bobby Bowden. So that's how we got here. Again, I tell people this all the time. The thing that the Republicans do that the Democrats don't do, they play the long game. This is 20 years in the making. But I'm going to give people some hope at the end of my little diatribe. So we got here, and the only institution that really wasn't controlled by the Republican Party was state institution was FAMU. That changed the last 2 years. I was unaware that there is a board of trustees member who represents the faculty that has had a bone to pick about salaries for quite some time, and chose at the absolute wrong time to settle in old school. Because remember, the bow tie dude, all his questions was about employee salary at the DRS school. That's the high school that the university runs.
Right.
He decided at that moment that he was going to make it about teacher salaries. He voted for that lady because salaries haven't gone up like he expected at FAMU.
Right.
But when you don't have voices in the state house to say, hey, when we do this budget, fam, you need to get X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And I ain't saying Florida State get everything they want, but Florida State is getting tenfold more than FAMU.
Right.
So it all came to a head at the absolute wrong time. And when I tell you, I love what Will Packer did. I love his voice. That is big homie in my town.
Mm-hmm.
Will Packer, Angela Bassett, them big homies. The fact that Devron was the dude hurt me to my core. I know this dude.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I graduated from, but I'm more FAMU than he is.
Mm.
It hurt me to my core. And I had to find a way to be positive when all I wanted to do was raise hell. But remember what Marlo say, fam, you gonna be all right. And I always listen to Marlo. Fam, you gonna be all right. It's just another battle. But
Mm-hmm.
for it to come from Devron, it's wild. Like anybody but him, as far as me personally. It could have been anybody else, not him.
Right.
So
So when and then when you think about what's going on, Chuck.
Hello, how are you all doing? I didn't want to interrupt you all. This is the reason why I came on to talk about this. I'm more than just a sports guy, but this is this is a serious situation. It could affect anyone. I hear people say, that's their problem. I said, hey, that could be your problem as well. Where public institution that you went to, HBCU, it could be your problem. I was talking to my parents about it. We've been talking about it. I told them about what had occurred. I say, you know what? It could be your alma mater. It could be Grambling. Grambling has dealt with a lot of things with the University of Louisiana System Board. Rick Gallo, former president of Grambling, is there right now. He's now president of ULS, and the president is Dr. Martin LaMelle, who I've gotten to know quite well. But the thing about it, they got in. I think they got in while John Bell Evans, who's a Democrat, while he was governor. But Jeff Landry is there, and that's a
Yes.
serious problem. He's a serious problem, and I'm just calling it. And I told my parents, I said, you have to watch this guy. I can't put anything past him. That's why people got out and voted in droves and told him that those 5 amendments that he was putting out there. Everybody said, the majority said no, because one of those said tax exempt status being taken away for the church. The religious community came out. Then they talking about those under 18 being treated like adults, in court, being treated as adults. And then even many more came out. You start getting those who are you start getting the Black community, and you start getting the religious community, and everyone start coming out. I didn't mean to overtake your show, but I want to talk about this. This is some serious stuff here, and you have to watch these speakers. Like these schools may have had Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, in the past, Jesse Jackson's sick now. But you have to watch this. They're not going to have these people come to these campuses. They're going to get these people like your Clarence Thomas, Byron Donalds, those names that are horrible. Thomas Sowell, longtime columnist, Dr. Ben Carson. You have to just watch those names that they could have come to these campuses.
Yeah, so I would say this: in the state of Mississippi, our Trojan horse is the IHL. They send us.
What about the IHL?
They send us these dudes. They send us these presidents. In the last couple of years, they don't last 3 years. The only one that lasted 3 years was William Bynum. He got caught up with. Yeah, he got caught up in that prostitution sting.
I saw that mugshot.
That's on him.
Yeah.
And Thomas Hudson and Marcus Thompson, they one and the same. But at the same time, the fact is we don't have control over that. It's the independent board of governors for the IHL who vote on the presidents for the 8 state universities. One of the people, the board chairman, is an Alcorn grad. He was an Alcorn. He was the president of Alcorn at one point in time.
I met him. Not a nice person.
Yeah, Alpha Rankin.
Yeah, it was at the All Point State Jazz Festival. We went to see Branford Marcellus, and the way he acted, Dad was talking to Branford, and the director of the Jazz Studies program brought him up, Dr. Rankin and his wife to meet Branford Marcellus, and Branford is a nice guy. He's part of Marcellus music family, and while Dad was talking, he was kind of I knows how Dr. Rankin was acting. He acted very aloof. I'm just gonna call it like that. I'm not gonna lie about it, and Dad just asked me, say, Chuck, do you pick up on how he was acting? He he's kind of aloof. I said, yeah. I picked up. His wife was very nice, but him, nah.
Yeah, so
I didn't even go off on that.
If you really think about it, I think that man got a fix in for it. Give us our own independent board of trustees. Let us have that. Even Mississippi State and Ole Miss and USM should have their own board of trustees. It shouldn't come from somebody where you want to say transparency is the key, but we are not transparent. They're not transparent when it comes to who these people that they're trying to put into our institution. Yeah. And it's the same thing with MAGA Marva. Dr. Thompson did not have a degree or was not even in higher education. He just worked. He just worked at the IHL. So to me, that right there is that's an issue within itself, and whoever are the candidates, like the alums need to have some sort of word into who get picked as the president of the university. In the sense of FAMU, the fix was already in.
Yeah, they already had their minds made up.
Yeah, when they put her as a finalist, and she was not well qualified for that. That fix was in. Really, the fix was in when you messed up when you accepted a false donation to the school. Larry Robinson could have still had his job.
You know what though? This was gonna happen anyway. If Larry Robinson would have went through the term of his contract, this was still gonna happen. This was still gonna happen because it ain't just FAMU. Remember, he's using the university system to pay back his cronies, and by him, I mean Puss in White Boots. It happened at New College, FIU. He did it at Florida, but the candidate at Florida, and this is why I have hope. If you remember, Florida's president brought in all his friends to do these no-show-up jobs. And the University of Florida, this is the only time I'm going to say their name, the University of Florida newspaper, the student newspaper, put it all out there. When this report was getting ready to come out, remember, their president said, you know what, my wife's sick, I'm finna resign.
Yeah, that's
2 weeks later, the article dropped.
From Nebraska.
I don't want anything bad to happen to FAMU, but if the worst case scenario is I gotta hold my nose for 2 years to do the same thing, I'm okay with that. Because University of Florida, I don't know. The last I heard is they have the University of Michigan's president coming to be their president. There's been some rumors about he may not come, but last time I heard that's going to be their replacement. If that's their replacement, they stepped up.
Right.
That's my hope. The other thing that people don't know about is when they replaced the president at New College of Sarasota, they also tried to merge back New College of Sarasota back with USF, and it failed.
Excuse me, Doc. Let me get it. I'll be right back.
So I have been wanting to say that Florida State will never take over FAMU. If that was the play, it died in Sarasota. That's not going to happen.
Right. So here's the thing. What is the end game for even bringing in Marvin Johnson? what is your end game? Is it to hand over the university to Ron DeSantis and
That's what it
say
seems like.
do what you need to do with it, or are you really going to be in there to be a agent of change? Because you know, the best president. I'm gonna be honest with you, and my cousin would say this: the best president from back in the day was Dr. Humphreys.
Dr.
Yeah.
Frederick
Yeah.
Humphreys.
She would say that
Walter Emerson Jones.
she would say that she got into FAMU in 1998.
I remember Dr. Humphreys.
He was there in 1998.
Yeah, came from Tennessee State.
So he was the best. From what I heard, he was the best president.
Oh, I remember him. He was.
There has not been a replacement. Sometimes you just can't replace certain things. The FAMU charge, nobody has gotten that right since him. It is Dr. Humphreys, it's FAMU, Dr. Humphreys as far as academics is concerned. It's FAMU, Dr. Humphreys, and everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just what happened. You get those names like that, Dr. Frederick Humphreys, like Graham had Ralph Waldo Emerson Jones, and they all, and your school doc had Dr. John Peoples.
John Peoples.
He's in his late 90s, still living.
Yeah. You had people like that. Even with the past couple of years, you had Glenda Glover as president of Tennessee State, who was trying to make change up there.
Yeah.
You had several, hell, you might well just let's just go ahead and put his name up in there. Slick Harvey over at
William Harvey at Hampton.
Hampton.
That man was there a long time.
Chancellor Martin, he was there at A&T for a long time.
Oh, Harold Martin,
The president, I think, who, if I'm not mistaken, Swigert for
Patrick
Howard?
Swigert. You said that was at Howard. Yeah, Patrick Swigert.
So
he was an attorney.
Yeah, so you look at some of these people that were presidents and stuff like that, and you see what type of initiative and what type of change they brought to the universities, and then you bring in other folks that are there to undermine it. So it just, my whole thing was, would
it be disrespectful for me to say I don't think Marva Johnson has the capability to undermine FAMU? I think
that's disrespectful. I think that it's just well within the rights.
I just think she won't run it well.
Right.
I hope she does great. I really do. I hope she wins over the alumni and she does great. I hope she takes advantage of an opportunity that she didn't deserve.
Go to the 220 quarterback club.
She better not show up at 220. She better not.
Oh gosh, the elderly.
She better not show up at 220 till she get them $2 billion from the state. You better not show up there.
Oh man.
Oh, that's nasty.
She better not show up there.
Oh gosh.
And but see, here's the thing: the best thing about all this is that everything we saw was we saw it live, and
because we have the Sunshine State law.
Right.
If we didn't have the Sunshine, like, I don't know if Mississippi has that.
No, we don't.
See, things can get done in the dark and it'd be a shock.
The only thing Louisiana talking Napoleonic laws we have here in this state. That's Brother White. I don't know what we're strange.
Here in Texas, we don't have that type of law either. But the thing about it is that every university system has a board of trustees. So you got University of Texas, you got Texas A&M, you got Texas State University with a system. Texas Tech has their own system.
Louisiana, LSU and Southern have their own system. They have the LSU Board of Supervisors and the Southern University Board of Supervisors.
So yeah, you looking at that like they do their own thing. So
Yeah,
like IHL will come on. It'd be
ULS
so
public
crazy.
gambling
They'll
and
come on. They'll show it live on YouTube. But once it goes into certain things like an executive session, especially like now, if we trying to look for a goddamn president for Jackson State, they don't want nobody to see what's going on. And I'll be like, you know what? Here goes again. This is the fix. Who are we? And we have our own national search. I think we have a national search, but at the same time, who are the people that you looking at and interviewing? Because we need to know. Like we need to know.
You know what? Our sunshine law didn't matter because at the last minute they threw a name up there out of the blue.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's
Like
the one. That's the one that guy that made that vote. That's owner of those McDonald's down in Tallahassee. You talking about him?
Oh no, he
He came in the last
so
minute.
he came in the last minute, but
Rafael
Marvin's nomination.
Vasquez.
Yeah,
Vasquez, and
yeah.
I will
They own
not.
McDonald's.
You know what? Matter of fact, I need Buc-ee's to hurry up and build a gas station in Tallahassee. I don't need to go to McDonald's no more anyway.
Buc-ee's about to open over in Ruston, 30 miles from me. Buc-ee's about to open over in Ruston, Louisiana, west of me.
Ooh.
It is.
We need we need gonna stop at Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
The wife gonna say Busey's over here. Like, no, ma'am, it's Buc-ee's.
No, it's not.
Yeah. If you want to come over, go to Ruston. And Buc-ee's will be over there.
We definitely gotta stop.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's great.
One of the reasons I want to go back to Daytona is that's the closest Buc-ee's. Is next to Bethune-Cookman. Well, right up the road from Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is something that we need to talk about. That we had to talk about this. The Trojan horse.
Yeah, I'm glad you bringing it up. I'm more than just a sports person. Yeah.
The fix was in the whole time. When I seen it, I was like, you know what? Oh, these folks about to be pissed.
Oh man, gosh.
And I want to the Jackson State people. I need you to understand something, right? It's a lot of us FAMU people that recognize exactly what's going on at Jackson State, because when it happened the last time y'all was looking for a president, New Tampa or Sarasota was going through the exact same situation. And we could in real time make the parallels. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna end well. Because we already seeing it at New College of Sarasota. I'm like, this ain't gonna end well. And it ain't been 2 years. That man came in off rip messing up, talking about y'all can't have no red. I was like, oh, they're gonna hang him before he even get started good.
And I feel like when he came in, he meant good. You know, give him some money and stuff like that. But hey, man, keep your hands off. Y'all keep your hands off of folks. God damn.
No.
Can you please? And you know, my whole thing is people, you know, I'm hearing on Twitter, people said that what our situation and family situation is not the same. It is all the same. Because the main thing is, and hear what Dr. Israel said. We did not want him. It's just the same as FAMU. Y'all don't want her. So,
it is this, and people think this is the loudest FAMU alumni are gonna get. This is the quiet part. Remember, the loud part of any HBCU season is football season. At halftime, when she tried to do the FAMU Jesus, pray for her. Security is gonna need to be close, because she gonna mess it up. Everybody done messed it up, but Dr. Humphries. She gonna mess it up.
Brother White, in spirit, I wonder what would Kofi Hemingway say.
Man.
That's why I got to know him quite well. I met him in 2022 when that FAMU came to play Grambling. I sat with him. I really missed that brother. I said, what would he have said? Gosh.
Hey, if I could be a fly on the wall to hear what he said,
Oh gosh,
He would have got
'cause
Kofi would have got the belt. It
got that belt.
would have been belt the ass.
Oh man.
it is, you know, I keep saying this all the time. Going to school in Tallahassee in the 90s, I was blessed because even though it was bad, I could see positive improvement. As I get older, I understand why my daddy got cynical the older he got. As I get older, I'm getting more and more cynical of people.
Oh, I'm just saying I'll be 50 this year in November. Yeah.
10
Yeah,
years ago, I wouldn't have had no animosity towards Devron 10 years ago.
but you got a
Now,
grand. You got to give him all the smoke
and
and
I'll
more.
probably go have him on the show again. But we're gonna have to have a conversation before that happens. Because I'm not I'm still pissed off on Friday.
Oh, I think everybody's still upset about
Oh
Friday.
man,
Everybody's
that's all.
people is upset. People are scratching their heads.
I saw the
It's-
breaking news. I said, "Oh gosh."
People is just like this, y'all. Man, I'm telling you, this is how folks on Friday was like.
No.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how people was on Friday.
I'm
not saying I wasn't upset, but I was upset just from the fact that
No, it could happen to any
it could
school.
happen to any
Yeah.
school, man. It you know, I said this with the best thing about it. I said this about Prairie View is the fact that the board of trustees for Prairie View, it kind of has to be symbiotic with the board of trustees for Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Yeah.
Right.
In
In the system. So to me, that's like when the president that they picked, Dr. Tamika LeGrand, she first of all, you ain't gonna get no sister named Tamika as the president, but they sure did do that. And she's very innovative. She has a lot of insight, and she wants to see the university grow. And she is, honestly, she wants to see when it comes to athletics, she wants to see athletics grow as well. That's the reason why, of course, you name Tremaine Jackson as your head football coach. You see, you name Anton Goff as your AD. So, so to me, like it's something like perfect. Texas Southern, they messed that up. Their board of trustees messed that up. We already talked about that. Hey, their board of trustees can be trash.
You know who operates it. You know that the one in that wheelchair. I don't have to call his name. Yeah, I don't
but
call
like
his
I
name.
said, it can happen anywhere. Our school. Only schools that are not in the Republican state are those Maryland schools.
Yeah.
Maryland.
Are those
It
Maryland
is.
schools?
Yeah.
You are seeing the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
You see the difference. You see the difference in the governor. You see the difference in the biggest city in the state of Maryland, which is Baltimore, with a black mayor, and what's going on over there. He's embracing Morgan State. He's embracing Coppin. You see all the stuff. They get the money. They're getting what they're supposed to get.
The governor's black. Wesley Moore.
The governor's black. So hey, Bowie State getting what they need. Governor. Yeah, Bowie State getting what they getting. Like they're not being bothered. But you go to North Carolina, A&T got fined $1 million because they went over on the enrollment.
I heard about it. I've been to A&T's homecoming. I went back in 2019, and that enrollment had grown.
You go to South Carolina State where they damn near are trying to get rid of this school in Orangeburg. Delaware State getting their money, but they ain't getting their money like you
Like Delaware.
UD is getting.
UD is the one that's getting it. Yeah.
And if you think about it, Virginia, you don't really hear too much about Virginia. You don't hear too much going on in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but you know, they probably got some issues, stuff going on too. But at the same time, when you head west into your states of your Georgias, you head south into your Floridas, to your Alabamas. You don't hear too much about Alabama because even though they do got a Republican governor in Kay
Is Kay Ivey still governor in Alabama?
Yeah, I think Kay Ivey is still governor of Alabama. She is pretty much. They getting look. If the crazy thing is, they getting money. They getting money with no type of pushback.
Alabama A&M is doing quite well.
Yeah, when you hear Tennessee,
Alabama State.
Tennessee State, and then you come to Mississippi with the 3 HBCUs, Jackson, Alcorn, Valley. Like, come on now, man. We getting crumbs. We getting pennies on the dollar.
Just taking on.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them things where what are we doing? What are they doing? What are they trying to do? So you have to be able to be demonstrative about the people that come to your institution.
FAMU does not have an enrollment limit, but the resources have to be there for them to grow. And that has always been the issue, is that FAMU would request their budget, and then that budget would be undercut severely. And I ran into a gentleman today who, you know, a lot of times I have my FAMU or my Florida State shirt on. And today I had my FAMU hat on. I'm sorry, this was Friday. I had my FAMU shirt on when I was going into surgery. And the anesthesiologist was like, yeah, what Florida State is doing is great with the school, with FAMU, and FAMU gets the best of both worlds. And I'm like, hold on, first off, FAMU's name is first. That's FAMU's engineering school that Florida State is participating in. But a lion's share of the resources is coming through because it has Florida State's name on it. There was a time when Florida State was trying to take over the engineering school altogether. Thank God cooler heads prevailed and that didn't happen. But it's a lot of misperception. It happens a lot. And I love my school. I really do. I really do. But there's no way in the world that this should have happened and so many university officials sat quiet.
Boy.
And these will be it's a lot of university officials that will be running for local office. And I want everybody to remember them people that sat quiet.
Here's the thing, too. The board voted. I said this on, I think it was Friday. The board voted for politics. They voted party over institution. So those 8 people who voted for this lady, they have some sort of ties in. Somebody might be running for a office in a city or a county race or something like that. Or they feel like they're getting they about to get that kickback because they put the person that was needed to be in charge. Because I feel like you would have got Dr. Palm up in there, and none of this would be happening right now. None of this would be happening right now. And
that one person that on that board, that's on both those boards, you should get him back on the show. I want to hear from him. That you know who I'm talking about. Get
Oh,
him back.
yeah.
I
Oh,
want to.
yeah. John
Yeah, I want to hear
Crossman.
from him. He has a
John
lot of
Crossman.
talking to do, brother.
Where
Brother
you
Crossman,
at,
he has a
man?
lot of talking to do.
Because
Yeah,
Did you
because
see what? Where did you see who he voted for?
oh yeah, I know
yeah,
he
yeah.
voted for
Get him back
Bob
on.
Johnson
I want to hear from
and
him.
he
Okay.
dipped out. He dipped out.
Yeah,
Like, look, I made my vote. I'm gone. Oh yeah,
yeah.
I had that man 3 years ago.
Years ago, yeah. He sit up at hey, he's playing a nice role, but let's face it, white man in America. Let's face it, man. He's showing his true colors.
Again, I have less beef with him than I do the
Yeah,
faculty representative who spent a week talking about employee salaries, letting the whole world know I've been dealing with this for what, 2 years? I'm gonna let how I feel be known. And he settled an old score. I have an issue with him. Because now is not the time to do that. But again, you know, I'm not the PhD guy. I don't run
yeah.
around with bow ties. What do I know?
Neither.
But
I don't know, not a PhD or anything. I'm just a lover of sports, and this is interesting conversation. I'm not a scholar or anything. I just love this conversation.
I just, and again, like, student, from what we understand about MAGA, no good deed goes unpunished.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to continue to look to see if bow tie department is still going to be around in the next 2 years.
Mm.
Because that's usually how that thing works. But again, we'll see. I try to be, happy-go-lucky media guy, but this wasn't one of them weeks. I have not felt like this since Snoop Menace didn't go to class for the entire month of November, and we
I
lost to
understand that.
Oklahoma in the
I
And
remember
national
that.
that's
championship game.
championship game. Oh
I
my
remember that.
God.
That was that
I still ain't
2000
forgave
season.
him for that. I told him I forgive him for it, but I lied. I was lying. I ain't forgot about that.
Yeah, 2000
Man,
season.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Troy, yeah, the missus want to know about your health because I called you the other
Oh,
day.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'm doing well. We did the biopsy.
Mhm.
And for those who don't know, we had to postpone the biopsy because we were originally going to have it at Advent Health, and I'm going to put their name out there because there is no way my copay should have been, I'm sorry, $2,000 when at Tampa General my copay was $150.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
we had to move it from Advent Health to Tampa General. That's where my wife worked. We moved it to Tampa General. It was $150. So we did the transperineum biopsy. And I'm gonna be honest. I was tough guy going in. When I woke up, I was talking crazy after the biopsy because I was talking about, well, because before you have the procedure, you can't have sex at all for 3 days.
hmm.
So when I finally woke up and saw my doctor, I asked, could I have sex with my wife now? And so my wife was looking at me and looking at the doctor. It was crazy situation.
Okay.
Crazy situation. Absolutely crazy. But
Oh man.
that was the first thing that came to my head.
Oh
Like when
boy.
so but yeah, I'm okay. Everything's fine, no infection. We'll know the result of the test
That's
here
great.
in the next few days.
So
So
where did you have
again,
your biopsy? Where was it at? Cause
oh, I'm
I
sorry, it
didn't.
was a prostate biopsy.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
biopsy. I went to the doctor this past Thursday. Yeah, I had to get checked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black men, they say, well, wait till you're fit. As soon as you hit 40, give them people a call. Go ahead and have it done because it's better to be safe than sorry. We saw that with Chadwick Boseman. Just
Yeah.
waited too long.
I had my colonoscopy a couple of years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely going in because they said wait till you They said now is 45, and
45.
I am
I was
45,
past
so
45 and I got it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
45 now,
I
and so
got it out.
like
Yeah.
yeah, soon as possible, I'm going in.
Yeah, I mean, and we make such a big deal out of it. It really is not that big of a deal. It's
Great
not that
sleep.
big of a deal. You know.
Great sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Listen, I remember everything all the way up to I said, "Oh, this feel good," and I was gone. Oh, I was absolutely gone. Um, but I am very thankful for all those doctors at Tampa General Hospital. I'm thankful for my wife working at Tampa General Hospital so we can get them great benefits. Because
I'm
the
glad you reminded me
self-employment
of
insurance,
Tampa General. If
yeah,
something happened to me in Tampa, I know which hospital to go to.
that's the
That's
one to
how.
go to.
Okay.
That's the number one trauma center in the area.
Okay.
And look who just pulled up. Lord have mercy. Um,
The white hood.
yeah, she just pulled up. They've been at a gender reveal. They've
uh,
been Yeah, she been all auntie mode for the last month now. Um,
oh man,
so
we
apparently it's a girl.
oh,
You're
Yeah,
right,
because
Mick.
everybody wearing pink, so I'm assuming it's a girl.
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm getting checked
Yeah.
as soon as possible. I'm with Baylor Scott and White here in Texas, in Dallas. So it's
Baylor.
one of
Baylor, man.
yeah, one of the best ones in the state, man. I
Here
mean,
in Monroe, St. Francis. Yeah.
I could go to Parkland because that's the county, but I'm BSW is where it's at for me. My mama,
Okay.
she do Baylor Scott and Wife. The missus gonna do Baylor Scott and Wife. We get everything settled. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
do. Have
man,
St. Francis here in Monroe. St. Francis
we
Medical Center Catholic Hospital.
yeah, we got to get ourselves checked out. So glad that you got that good, man. Got that checked out. Hopefully everything goes well. We about to
Thank
get up
you.
out of we about to get up out of here. We'll be back on. I'm off this week after tonight. Woo! I'm off for a whole week.
Where's your
Shit.
Where's old Mr. Ford? That man, imagine him in this conversation this evening. You
You know
two.
what? I called
Man,
Mr. Ford earlier and he didn't
Mr.
answer.
Ford was
He probably was watching basketball.
yeah. I watched that game.
We need to
Watched
find out
both
what
of them.
happened to Texas A&M.
Oh, probably losing.
Texas
They
A&M
won
and
it. Well, they were in an elimination game. They
not
won the
that Texas
elimination game. They
A&M
got to
Liberty
play
game.
another one.
Is that Texas A&M Liberty softball game?
Yes.
Yeah, it was tied up. And then I see Texas A&M had pulled ahead of them before I came on here.
Yeah, they have a game 2 that they got to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Howard is out also in women's softball too.
I know Jackson State played. Jackson State played Belmont,
Yeah, we lost to Alabama first,
Alabama, and then Belmont.
9-0, and then we played Belmont, who
Yeah,
lost to them 2-1.
yeah, it was a close game. Yeah,
Well, yeah, watching the Atlanta Braves, but the best thing about it, the Braves came on earlier today, so
yeah. Shout out to Kevin Montgomery. Like I said, not many black softball head coaches out there, and it's a shout out to him what he's done at Jackson State.
Yeah.
well, Nick, Troy gonna tell you on Tuesday, Knicks in 5.
Knicks 5.
This is
Knicks
gonna
in
be a
5.
very this is gonna be a very interesting this is gonna be a very interesting series right here. And
Yeah,
it needs to go back to the old school knockout, drag out. Reggie Miller just needs to go ahead and suit up one more time and call out John Starks.
John Starks.
I ain't saying. I wish Reggie would suit up. I will kidnap him. We're not going through this
and
no more.
bring Anthony Mason back from the dead. Oh man,
Man,
dig him up.
man, get Chris Childs coming in
Oh boy,
and Larry
I know he
Johnson and
passed
Patrick
on.
Ewing. Get them team, get that team right there. But we got to get up out of here because I got to
All
get
right,
ready to roll up out for
All right.
work. Man,
all right.
we'll be on Tuesday, Troy.
Yep.
All
Man,
right.
brother White, it's great conversing with you as always, man. Man, you're a knowledgeable brother. I enjoyed talking to you. I had to come on, like I said, it wasn't about be about sports, but what's going on in this climate, this political climate.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh
I
yeah.
appreciate you doing that, Doc.
No problem.
Oh
Thank you. I got to get you on the show, man. I got to get you on the show.
Yeah, I'm not a scholar or anything. I don't have any PhDs or anything. I'm just a spectator. I'm the one that they call security. I couldn't be down there with you meteor guys. I just stay up in the stand. I get great looks at the games.
All right,
man.
guys. Y'all have a good one.
All
All
right, Sam,
right.
you be safe out there, and
All
you
right,
be safe,
Troy.
Doc.
All
All
Thanks.
right.
right,
See you later, Troy. And Chuck. Thank you, man.
all right. Take care,
Mm-hmm.
and the missus to be. Yeah, you all take care.
All right. We'll
All
tell
right,
her.
all right.
All right, man. Appreciate everybody for joining today. My man Troy. And make sure you check out the Gathering of Old Men podcast and the Madness basketball podcast on Tuesdays. Gathering Old Men on Thursdays with Fat Mouth Sports. We both collab on those 2 days. Funny, insightful, and you can never go wrong with Marlo shunning a whole university in Bethune-Cookman. So we about to roll up out of here. Hey, Mrs., you got something to say? Come on.
Good grief. Here we go. Here we go. All right.
So y'all see the Mrs. Her wig doesn't look like a wet dog comb over.
It does not look like Dora. Dora.
She did not say Dora.
Clock that.
She did not say Dora.
I did. Swiping on swiping.
Oh my God. All you missing is a backpack and a damn monkey.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Bye, bro.
But anyway, she said,
Whatever.
oh man. Anyway, man, again, appreciate my niece for picking the school that she want to go to, even though it ain't Jackson.
Don't start your shit, okay?
It ain't Jackson. She was gonna go to Jackson. She was gonna pick Jackson State, but a little snafu came about. But other than that, she said family was too far, and Grambling was right around the corner. It's down the street. That's what we call it here in Texas, in Dallas, going down the street. So she'll be at exit 81, hopefully working with Coach Mickey on the sidelines on the football team and everything, because that's what she want to do. Of course, the missus always grand fam.
Go Grambling.
And my niece's sister, down there at Alta Vista Plantation, aka Prairie View. But we keep it HBCUs in the family. Hopefully my fifth niece, Naya, she picks an HBCU. When it comes down to it. And even my nephew, my second nephew, pick a HBCU. Even my baby girl picks a HBCU. We're gonna keep that lineage going down the line in our family right there.
Crooks,
But-
you was doing good, goddammit. What the fuck happened? Huh?
Oh Lord. We start talking about football. But anyway, man, I'd say everybody make sure y'all be safe, be blessed, Hug your loved ones, love on your loved ones. All of us men, if we just listen to Troy, make sure we go get our prostates checked. Look, the boy got insurance, so we getting that. That's gonna be numero uno. Numero uno. Oh yeah, the Nottaway plantation burning down has brought out all the ancestors, and have brought out all the ancestors and everybody jumping for joy. Who gives a damn about that plantation? I really don't care. It does. And when you look at it, it resembles some. It resembles another house. It's somewhere in D.C.
Washington.
Mm-hmm. It kind of resembled that.
Yeah.
But man, y'all have a good week. I am off after tonight. So your boy gonna be working kind of hard tonight. But easy. But as always, man, we up out this thing. And Devon, if you see this, Mr. Gibbons, you see this, you're a sellout. But as always, y'all be easy, baby.
Bye.
I'm out this thing. Peace.